Paul, really appreciate you coming on here. And I want to pick up on where Ellison left off. Because when I think about covering way too many of these stories, and we talk about the different reform ideas that have been out there, in many ways, everything that could be done on the local level here had been done. This is a police department that looks like the community that it's serving. This is a police chief that acted swiftly, quickly, didn't hide behind the bureaucracy of a police union. We had all of the local justice act swiftly. Body camera footage is on there. We want more departments to do that. And yet it still happened. So what should Congress take away from that? That all of these local reforms happened in this case, and we still had the same outcome.
Yeah, and I would say that there is two things that they should take away from it. The first thing that they should take away from it is that you can't just have reform without accountability. You have to have both, and without both, you still get these bad results. Because we did have a policy in Memphis for disengagement and de-escalation. We did have a policy in Memphis for officers to intervene on behalf of a third party. And we didn't have that. But what we do have, and I think this is the glaring outline of what needs to happen, is the national policy that everyone is talking about today that needs to happen with the George Floyd Act. That needs to happen because realistically, and I think this is the part that gets missed in these conversations, more than 2/3 of all law enforcement agencies in this nation still don't even have updated use of force policies. And so that means by default that every day through adoptive admission, any law enforcement agency can have cases like Breonna Taylor, can have cases like George Floyd, can have cases like Tyre Nichols and Eric Garner. And that could happen at any time without a national policy, again, that defines both reform and accountability. Some of the things that we're seeing that have been taken, the steps that have been taken to have law enforcement respond appropriately and quickly is fantastic, but we need to have policies in place that address the concerns that we have specifically for communities of color and the race disparate outcomes from law enforcement. That needs to be addressed immediately.
Look, the fact that we had 5 African-American police officers be the ones that conducted this beating, does this not scream that this is an institutional and cultural issue within police departments?
Well, it confirms immediately that diversity is not the sole issue in cases like this. What it confirms for me is that the blue uniform of the office overshadows the black skin of the officers. And that's why we already know that law enforcement has race disparate outcomes. And that is very race specific, and we have to focus on that. That is the issue that's not up for debate. We have proven statistically over and over again, beyond the anecdotal conversations from communities of color, that there are race disparities in policing and stops and use of force and arrests all across the board. That's been proven. Part of the confirmation of that can be looked at. You can see the solutions in states like California that has the RIPA Act, where officers are forced to record their interactions by race. Because if you do that, you can confirm it in any local area. So we already know that these things are true and not up for debate. The real issue is, what do we do once we have confirmed race disparities? How do we address it? And again, the answer are reform policies and accountability. We need both, and we need a standard that goes at a local level, at a state level, and is confirmed at a federal level. I'm excited about some of the movement that we're seeing at the federal level with the Biden and Harris administration and some of the steps that they're taking, and what the DOJ is doing uniquely for the first time, where we see them acting quickly and swiftly about an investigation and an indictment for behaviors, especially because, you know, it's a separate track of accountability from the state or local accountability from the district attorney. We need all of that to be codified and institutionalized to address this problem.
All right, let me very quickly get you on this. If this Congress is as divided as we think it is, and they can only do one thing to improve policing in America, what is that one thing?
Codify the JIPA Act, codify George Floyd, address the Senate Republicans, because I want to be clear as to why it didn't move forward last time. The Senate Republicans blocked it from moving forward, mostly caught up over qualified immunity. But it's those types of restrictions that create unsafety that confirm race disparate outcome from law enforcement for the rest of the country. And it has to be talked about and articulated in that way so that the country understands the need for us to have a better, more equitable definition of both public safety and justice in this country.
Well, you just hit the key there. All of us, including us in the media, we need to help explain the race disparity outcome. That is something that I think we do better today than we did yesterday, but we could do a lot better. Paul Henderson,